What I'm about to say is going to be very sad because this is going to be my very last Destiny 2 build in Season 22. I got you there. You thought I wasn't going to make any more builds? Come on, man. I'm going to make tons of builds when Season 23 comes out. This is going to be my last build for Season 22, which is very sad, but I guess we got to move on. We got to move on. All right, for this build, this is going to be insane. When I mean insane, it's insane. You're going to be able to blind every single enemy. So this build is going to be good for blinding and also unleashing tons of Threadlings. We're going to be producing Threadlings from our weapons and our abilities. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, you're also going to be suspending a ton of enemies. You're also going to be producing a ton of Threadlings, and you're also going to be blinding even more enemies with your Rift. How cool is that? When I was trying out this build, you will not believe how much ability energy you're going to be receiving for this build. It is insane. And the stats that I was using was not 100 stats. I did not have any 100 stats. That's how crazy this build is for ability regen. So if you would like to see more Destiny 2 builds in Season 23, be sure to hit that like button and also you're subscribed. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's get right into it. In order for you to blind targets with your Rift, you're gonna need to have this exotic chest called the Vesper of Radius. Here is how you can be able to blind targets. While surrounded by at least 3 enemies within 15 meters, you gain additional base class ability regeneration rate when you're near enemies. So let's just say there's 3 enemies around you, you're going to be getting 250%. If there's 4 of them, you're going to be getting the devil number, which is 666%. And for 5, 1085%. And if it's 6 or more enemies, you're going to be receiving 1500% class ability regeneration rate. So your main goal is to be swarmed by tons of enemies if you want to get the max amount of class ability regeneration. And might as well I'm here, I can just let you know what mods you need for the chest. For the chest, you're going to want to run Charged Up, Arc Resistance, and Void Resistance. Charged Up is going to be very big for what we're going to be using for our Warlock Bond. We'll get onto that later. Let's head to the abilities first. For the abilities, you're going to want to use Healing Rift. And for your Strand grenades, you're going to need to want to put this if you're going to want to suspend each and every target you eliminate. And it's called a Shackle Grenade. So usually with grenades, you're going to want to tend to throw them. But in this case, you're going to want to consume it. When I say consume, you're going to eat the living hell out of this Strand grenade. Why? Let me explain. The aspects, we're heading on to that right now. You're going to want to put Mind Spun Invocation. And we're going to look at this little section from this aspect. And it's right here. Hold to consume your Shackle Grenade and activate Weaver's Trance. Final Blows with Weaver's Trance is active and it creates a suspending detonation. So with this aspect proc, you consume your grenade, you get 30 seconds of Weaver's Trance, and when that thing is procced, each kill will suspend nearby targets. Yippity-doo! The other aspect is Weaver's Call. This one's going to be very huge for this build. Let me explain. Casting your Rift will unleash 3 Threadlings and deploy any Threadlings you have perched. What they mean by perched is that sometimes your Threadlings will not kill an enemy, but they will instead come back to you and go inside you. Pause. You can't be able to hold 5 Threadlings. So you would cast your Rift, and if you have any Threadlings that are perched, shoot an enemy and those Threadlings will come out of you and hit that target, including the Threadlings that will spawn from your Rift. Now onto the fragments that are going to be very huge for this build. The first one is good for your Shackle Grenade, which is Thread of Generation. Dealing damage generates grenade energy, but the downside is you'll get -10 discipline. The second fragment is crucial for your Threadlings and is Thread of Evolution. Threadlings travel further and deal additional damage, and what's best about this is that you get +10 intellect. The third fragment is good for receiving more class ability energy and is Thread of Mind. Whenever you defeat a suspended target, it will grant you class ability energy. And here's another one that's beneficial when suspending targets, and it's Thread of Wisdom. When defeating a suspended target, it will generate an Orb of Power. So those 4 are the crucial fragments that you need to have the most insane amounts of ability energy that you can possibly have for this build. Now let's head to the weapons. What's cool about this build is that you do not need any exotics, so you'll be fine. But if you guys would like to use an exotic, go for it. But in this case, I'm using all legendary weapons that are from raids because there's one perk that would be very beneficial, and it's only on Strand weapons. And for this weapon that I'm talking about right now is Rufus Fury. You can get this one and the power weapon from the Root of Nightmares raid. The first perk is Reconstruction, and the main perk is Hatchling. I chose to put Hatchling because I would like to produce more Threadlings, because why the hell not? I like Threadlings and I want to produce more. So yeah, be sure to have Hatchling for your Strand weapons. And here are two options that you could use from your energy weapon. You can either go on an ad clear route, or you can go on a blinding grenade type of route. You can get from Vow of the Disciple, and it's the Forbearance. And the perks you would want to go for are Ambitious Assassin and Chain Reaction. The next weapon that is on the energy slot is a blinding grenade launcher called the Prodigal Return. Why I say blinding? Because this weapon comes with disorienting grenades. I don't know why they changed it, but it is what it is. That perk allows you to be able to blind targets. And if you're curious to know what other perks you would want to go for on this grenade launcher, you can go for Envious Assassin and Bolt Shot. For this one, you can be able to get this in Season of Defiance, which is Season 20. And last but not least is the power weapon. And I already mentioned that you can get this in Root of Nightmares. The perks you would want to go for on this one is Reconstruction, of course, to double the magazine size, and Hatchling. I know there are exotic Strand weapons, but I decided not to use it because we're mostly using abilities. I know this part's not going to matter to you guys, but I just wanted to let you guys know these are the seasonal mods that I was using for Season 22, and I know we're very close to Season 23, but I still want to put this out there for you. Now let's head to the nitty-gritty of the armor mods for this build. Let's first start on the helmet. For the helmet, you're going to want to put is Dynamo, Hands-On, and Harmonic Siphon. For your gauntlets, you're going to want to put is Heavy-Handed, Impact Induction, and Focusing Strike. For your leg armor, you're going to want to put is Innervation, Invigoration, and Absolution. Remember how I told you guys that we're going to need to have this specific armor mod for our Warlock Bond? Well, here's what you need. This specific armor mod is Utility Kickstart. It would consume your armor charges and it would convert it into additional class ability energy. So the more armor charges you have, the more class ability energy you're going to be receiving. That's why I put Charged Up on the chest piece. And for the other two armor mods are Powerful Attraction and Reaper. And here are all of the armor mods for this build if you guys would like to take a picture, or of course with every Destiny 2 build that I've ever made on this channel, I will have a dim link in the link in the description for you guys to try out. It will take one press of a button and you'll have all of the armor mods right there. Whatever floats your boat. If you guys would like to know what stats you should be using, I do recommend going for Resilience and Discipline. But as what I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the stats don't really matter because you're getting as much ability energy as possible. But if you're one of those people that like to have 100 stats, those are the main ones that you should be using for this build. I know this is very simple for this build, but I would like to show you guys how to use it. First, you're going to want to find tons of ads for you to cast your Rift to gain the most class ability energy as possible. Then you're going to want to consume your grenade to have the ability to suspend targets, and afterwards just use any of your weapons or melees or anything like that and you'll be good. I know this exotic armor piece is very good in raids, especially for the types of raids that you're going to want to be ad clear, which everybody loves, especially for Crota, because I know when I did that in contest mode, I did run this exotic chest and it was slapping the living hell of the ads in Ear U. If you guys know that there's a tons of ads in Ear U, this exotic negates all of that. Every single ad will be blinded. If there's an encounter that has tons of ads, put this on and you'll be having the time of your life, sitting down, drinking a Pepsi, and just relaxing. This exotic is also good for the first encounter of Crota's End. If you made it this far into the video and you guys would like to see more broken Destiny 2 builds in Season 23, be sure to hit the like and sub button, and I'll see you guys in Season 23. And I'm so excited to make new builds that are coming in Season 23. This is going to be my last Season 22 build. Take care and peace.